I am Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I would like to talk with you about organization and productivity. I've been a working artist for the last 12 years, which makes me feel a little old, to be honest. And one thing that I usually can do really good is do a lot of things. I often work on many different projects, I have many different challenges that I work on, and people often wonder how I do it, how I organize myself, and so in this video I'm going to tell you all about it. I've also partnered up with Clever Fox Planners who sent me a weekly planner for this year. They do open planners, so no matter when you buy it, you can always start using it right away, which is really great, to be honest, because sometimes you buy a few too many planners because they're all looking kind of cute and you have to throw them away or you get some or whatever. I really like open planners for many reasons. Mostly, to be honest, because there's less waste. Traditionally, planners were made every year and so whatever would not sell would just get thrown away. With open planners you don't have that issue, so that's really good for someone who's trying to reduce her own waste. And it's also a lot more versatile than traditional planners because you can use them or start them at any point that you want. I'm also hosting a giveaway of one of these planners, so stay tuned until the end of this video to know how to enter the giveaway. The first thing, and this is probably the most important, and to be honest it took me years to actually do it, it is projected schedule. My boyfriend would nag at me and tell me I had to do it, and I was like, projected schedule, it already sounds so dry. But he was right, of course, and it's really changed my way of working quite drastically, especially for me who tend to overwork. The idea is to every beginning of the month to kind of lay down what you want and what you need to do and assign for each task half a day or a day, and then simply write it down on your schedule and see how much space it takes. It sounds like nothing, but it's life-changing. Most of the time, or most people, don't do this. They just do to-do lists, and so they have super long to-do lists for every week or every month, and they never get to finish them, which gets them frustrated. And this is just because they never assigned an actual time for each task. So for instance, in my mind, per week I would like to do 1 painting a day. With the weekend off that would be 5 paintings. I would like to do 1 sculpture and 1 YouTube video. Okay, that's 7 things. And I don't have the time for that in just 1 week. In just 1 week I can do 1 sculpture, 1 YouTube video and maybe 1 painting, and that's it. So when you start to actually write down how much time you need per task and put that time into your planner, then you actually visualize what you're capable of doing, and so you don't get frustrated or you don't overwork until midnight because you feel like you don't achieve anything. So this is really something that is important and that I would urge you to do right away to really kind of understand how much you can do and how to do it. The other thing, and this is something I've seen in plenty of YouTube videos and I just don't get it, don't plan small tasks that take half an hour and start to write down 10 tasks you want to do a day. If you want to plan, you need to plan with like the big task and just write those down. The rest you will find ways and time during the day. You can have maybe a to-do list for the week for the smaller task, but usually you can just remember them, things that you would naturally do anyway. Really try to plan in half days. That is going to make you much more efficient than to write down everything you want to do. Also try to prioritize things within your schedule. So you're going to have your main goal, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's to have a successful YouTube channel, maybe it is to become a successful teacher or a successful illustrator, or like me, to live from your art. That's really up to you. You need to really know what you want and understand what is most important to you, and then kind of work around that in your schedule. The idea is to have like your main goal take maybe 50% and then keep the 50 other % for things that earn you money while your goal is not completely achieved. If, of course, your main goal is already bringing you tons of money, then that's not an issue. Usually the reality is that you have to juggle between different sources of incomes to make a living. I also have another video on how to make money as an artist, so this is something you might want to check out as well. You also want to check all your deadlines every beginning of the month. So if you are looking for art calls or if you have specific work deadlines, then just write them down on your calendar, and then in every week, so you just can keep track on everything that you have to do and that you just don't forget about it. The second piece of advice is about daily habits. Now, before we are going to go back into workflow and how to be more efficient at working or creating, it is really important to be healthy. So a few tips on having a healthy body are obviously eat healthy. It's not that difficult. Just eat mostly vegetables and legumes, and you're going to be fine. Sure, you can have cake once in a while, and fat is not really an issue. You really rather want to avoid too much sugar, and just eat well. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Just eat when you're hungry, don't eat out of habit. The second thing, obviously, is to work out. Now, this sounds maybe a little bit annoying if you're not a working out person or if you've never been really into sports. I should know, I've never really been into sports. But try to find something that you can do on a daily basis that keeps you active and healthy. For me, it's to do daily yoga, and this year I decided to make a daily plank. It's not much per day, it's 15 minutes tops, so I really am not like the sporty type. I've never been. But it's really important to keep your body in a good shape. I found from experience it is a lot easier to work out daily than to work out once or twice a week, simply because when you do it daily, it just becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth. You don't really think about it, you just do it. You might find that you like to work out in the morning or in the evening, it doesn't really matter, just find the moment that fits you best. And of course, the third healthy habit is to sleep. Now, I don't know when this happened, but for some reason sleeping is something that is mostly criticized in our society, like, oh, you can sleep when you're dead. I mean, that's stupid. I don't know why this is a thing. Sleeping is important for your body and for your mind. Take the time to actually have a healthy sleeping habit. Now, there's a lot of discussion on how to sleep better. It would seem that napping every couple of hours would be best, but that's just not possible in today's society. The other option, and this is what I also do and my boyfriend as well, is we always sleep the same. So always go to bed at the same hour and always get up at the same, even on the weekend. This is going to depend a lot on how much sleep you need. Some people, they can get away with 5 hours. For my part, I need 8 to 9 hours, and just that's it. I need them. And then if I don't sleep at least 8 hours, I'm useless. Now, for the second part of daily habits, the daily habits that concern your work. So obviously this is more for creatives or artists, but I suppose in most workplaces where you're independent, it can be applied. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get into work into the morning. I luckily don't really have that struggle. I love to do what I do. I love to work, so usually when I get up, the first thing I want to do is get to work. But sometimes it helps to have daily challenges or daily sketches or doodles, something that just kind of warms you up and just gets you into your working day. So it can be to sketch every day something similar, or just sketch random things that are in your studio, or maybe just get out and use a few pictures of your surroundings. Maybe look at art books. So there are plenty of ways like that, that something that you know is going to inspire you for the day, and it's not going to take a lot of your time, maybe 15-20 minutes in the morning just to get you going. Now, the next piece of advice is crucial, and it is to unplug. Social media is killing us. I tell you, it is killing us. The productivity is gone. We just keep going back to Facebook to check stuff, or to Instagram to check new things that just gets us usually in a bad place because everyone seems to be better at it than yourself and they're working while you're not. So social media is not great. I mean, it's great to market and it's great to unwind if you do it with conscience, like really in the moment, but most of the time it's just bad. A few things that I find really help me is to, if you don't work on your computer, which is usually my case because I either paint or sculpt or film for YouTube or for tutorials, and the best thing I can do is to shut it down, not even turn it on, or to put it into sleep mode. So what I found most useful is to simply listen to the radio. You can do it on your computer as well, so you don't need to buy an extra radio, but just don't open your browser, don't make it for you easy to go on the internet. If you're working on your computer, there are apps that kind of block certain websites, or just don't open your browser. Now for your phone, I would suggest to turn the Wi-Fi off and maybe check into emails, etc. once or twice a day and not more. If you are getting phone calls for your work, then define certain hours when you are accepting phone calls. So it can be every morning between 9 and 12, for instance, and the rest is going straight to voicemail. Be sure to also let your clients know so they don't get frustrated. Next piece of advice is to just do. And I think this is my main mantra, and it's been my main mantra for the last 4 years. It sounds easier than it is. Most of the time, as a creative, you're going to get many ideas and it is important to write them down. Now, you're going to have a lot more ideas than what you're actually going to be doing or realizing to the end. And that is normal and that is fine. So you're already going to make a first selection. Now, the problem is that ideas usually are not great most of the time, and you don't always know if they're going to turn out great. So it's very, very easy to overthink everything, especially if you just finished something that was really good and then you're like kind of panicking. Oh, what am I going to do next? It might be worse than this. It might be less good. I really need a good idea. And this can be really crippling. So stop overthinking, pick a few ideas, and if you're stuck, pick 2 or 3 ideas and start working on different ideas at once and work on different things. And really try not to judge any of your work before it's finished. Because if you start to criticize too much before, you're not going to be able to actually do the work. It's going to paralyze you. So really, don't overthink, just do. The more you do, the better you become, the better your artwork is becoming, and so the better everything is going. Quantity over quality every time, because quantity leads to quality and not just like overthinking. Last but not least is to rest. Again, in today's society, and I don't know why, but everything is about growth and working more and getting more money and being better, and I mean, okay, but why? I mean, if you already earn enough money to have a sustainable living, if you already own a house and are overly happy, why earn more money? That makes no sense. Sometimes you also need to rest, and you actually need to rest every week. So please don't be the one person that works every day until no hours. There's nothing glamorous about overworking and then getting a burnout. I've seen firsthand on 2 of my very closest friends what burnout can do, and it's not pretty. It's dangerous. It's not worth it. It's also important because you're going to make better work when you are fully rested. When you feel good, when you're not exhausted, when you're not tired, you're going to be much better at work and everything is going to be much nicer and you're going to be more satisfied. And then you're going to become actually better. Okay, so these were my 5 pieces of advice to get organized and be more productive. And now for the giveaway for the Clever Fox Planner. This giveaway is for US and European Union only. To participate, simply comment on this video below answering the question, what piece of advice would you give to be better organized? Also follow Clever Fox Planner on Instagram and myself, Petit Plat, on Instagram. Best of luck for the giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video was somewhat useful for you and that you are now pumped for this new year to get organized much better and to be so much more productive. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!